Okay, I think I'm back. Please let me know if the microphone is too loud again, or if the video quality is okay and stuff. Okay, so let's very important thing in Dark Souls is because it's like very challenging game and you always die. You need to have some connection with your protagonist. So we need to make our character look beautiful, and we need to name it somehow. Okay, I think this will do. And we will make a nice looking lady, because they have boobs, and it will be young. And regarding soul level 9 and classes, so if we go soul level 1 playthrough, we have only one option of class to choose from. It's called Deprived. So it has level 1, but it has actually pretty good stats. Do you hear me at all? Andrew, do you hear me? Because I have complaints for other viewers that they can't hear me. So if it's a problem on their end or... Can't hear at all, or can badly hear? It was better before. Can you refresh the stream? Oh, Andrew can hear. Okay, that's good. It's our most important viewer can hear, so we can ignore other ones with technical issues. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to proceed with character creation. So as I said, we have a lot of classes to choose from, but we are now limited to level 1 character, and it actually has a lot of good stats. So as you see on the right, there are a lot of different stats that like vigor, attunement, endurance. So some of them are not important for us, but it's nice to have good like intelligence and faith, because we will be able to use some of spells and miracles to help us a little bit. And don't worry about the story yet. So you already saw the intro, so it's pretty self-explanatory, as you understand, and it will be even more explanatory in the future. So the storytelling is as simple as in Telltale games, as you can see. So we'll get to the story a little bit later. Okay, so we have some starting equipment on our character. It's basically the club and the plank shield, which is plank shield is complete shit, but club is pretty good as a starter weapon. So we'll be able to do a real good damage at the start. Okay, Burial Gift is just a little addition that we can have in the beginning. Some like consumable items, fire bombs and stuff. But as we are doing like Soul level 1 and we want to make it as hard as possible, we'll choose nothing because we like do hardcore stuff. Okay, let's get some nice looking face preset. So we need to look pretty. This is quite pretty for me. And build. So as we like Soul level 1, we are like very slim and stuff. So kind of very weak character. Very slim, small head. Okay, very slim. And customize our appearance a little bit more. So it's very important customizing your face details. There is a very nice feature in all Dark Souls games which allows you to generate your face in a random manner. So we just can mash one button, it will generate faces randomly, and we can customize it a little bit later on. Okay, so this is pretty good. So it has a very healthy skin tone, and I like it. Okay, let's do this. I can even save it to favorites, but just in case. So I'll be able to reuse this same face later on. Why do you think? Tits always help. Tits adds you more armor if you're talking about like Dark Souls stuff. Okay, so looking good. So let's finalize the creation of our pretty girl. So we wake up in some weird cemetery, and I don't actually know a lot about the lore of the game. So we are kind of undead, and so our main goal is to go forward, try to kill other undeads, and kill some bosses. And our first challenge will be this guy. Which is pretty simple with our new club. And some guys drop items. So Fading Soul is basically the consumable that gives you more souls, and souls it's kind of currency of this game. So you will be able to level up with souls, buy new stuff with souls, and do everything with souls. And it's the only currency of the game. And this Estus flask will give us ability to replenish our mana, which we will use later on. It's our blue bar on the top left. And this guy is standing here, and he cannot aggro because his only reason for its existence is to let player try the backstab mechanics, which is kind of animation that gives you a lot of damage. And it usually very nice to get behind some enemy and backstab them. It's very often insta-kill. there are a lot of messages on the ground, so some of them are left here by game developers to get you kind of introduction to the game, how to control it, all this stuff. But you can later on we'll be able to leave our own messages. And there is some powerful enemy on the right. We will not go there just yet because we don't need anything from there, but we'll return a little bit later. So this is the first moment in the game when you see nice landscape and you just have this first moment of wow. When you go out from this cemetery, you see like very nice castle wall with all this nice looking bricks and stuff, and there are some mountains in the distance. And this is the castle will be running in it later on, but not at the moment. And this is the first bonfire. So bonfires acts as a checkpoints. So you should lead bonfire first, and when you sit it, you replenish all the health and mana and stamina and all your Estus flasks, and Estus flask is a healing item here. And also it respawns all the enemies in the world, except some enemies that are not respawning, like bosses or some powerful enemies. This guy is more powerful, as you see. We had to two-shot it instead of one. This is the first moment in the game when we need to do a trick jump, kind of, to get some Titanite shards is upgrade material. We will use it later on to upgrade our weapons. And here is the moment when the developers teach you how to do plunging attacks. So if you just jump down on someone and hit attack button, you do a lot of damage and like often insta-kill. You can also do a jumping attack, do a plunging, also looks pretty good and works nice and does a lot of damage. We'll get this loot, it's fire bombs. It's kind of useful for first boss, because I already know what to expect. But it doesn't guarantee that I will kill him first try. There is a mechanic in this game called the poise. So as you saw, when I was jumping attacking this enemy, he hit me mid-air, but it didn't like prevent me from attacking it, so I just took a damage. I took more damage than I should because I was doing something in mid-air, and but I still managed to attack him because I had some kind of poise. It's kind of hyper armor or something that will give you ability to proceed with your attack regardless of the damage. So okay, this fine area, this nice looking tree with the some. Okay, just a second, I'll turn game volume down. Okay, I've turned it down, maybe it will be better now. So this nice looking coffin is here for no reason. There is some lore implication in it, but I'm not sure which they are. And this boss is not activated yet, because they give you like ability to take a look at it and like think what will happen with if you remove the sword from his chest. So, but I can guarantee that it will activate and start killing us. So we'll just equip those fire bombs that we have recently acquired, just in case. So we have our item bar on the below. We can equip a lot of items, so like up to 10. And we have our Estus flask, which is healing items, and fire bomb that will allow us to like deal some damage from the distance. And yeah, we can either single-handedly equip our club or like two-handed for more damage. It will consume more stamina, but it will hit stronger. So it depends on the actual situation when you need to use single-hand or two-handed attacks. So we will use two-handed for this boss. And our nice-looking club has also basically every weapon here has some additional skill. It's called weapon art, and you can activate that and it will consume some stamina. And in this particular club, weapon art is kind of buff, so we do this nice shout and our club ignites with some red stuff. And we see the icon on the top left under our stamina bar that shows we have improved attack for some time. The duration is quite short, but it will be enough to like do some additional damage to the boss before he will be able to actually start hitting us. Okay, so let's buff again and actually start the fight. And of course I will die to him instantly, because I haven't played for a long time. So there's this nice moment when you can deal some damage to it while it activates. Oh, and this is the stagger mechanic. So we did some hits to the boss, which was enough to stagger him. So we had a chance to deal a couple more hits for free. And now sorry, we got boss down to the half of the health, so it moves him to the second phase. So basically all bosses in the Dark Souls have at least 2 phases. Oh, okay, yeah. So I need to talk a little bit less and more focus on the fight, sorry. So every boss in the Dark Souls and in every game, or even in Bloodborne, has at least 2 phases. Some of them have 3 phases, which is like heresy, but it's okay. And usually second phase differs a little bit from the first phase. Sometimes difference is really dramatic, and you kind of get 2 different bosses. So now we have initiated the boss fight already. We have a fog wall, and when we enter it, the boss is instantly activated. So we will no longer be able to deal some free damage, and we will need to do this fight kind of without cheating. And in this game it's very important to manage your stamina, because if you run out of stamina by rolling or attacking or whatever, you will lose the ability to roll any attack. So you will be quite screwed, because you will get a lot of damage and you will not be able to counteract. So okay, in this phase this boss is vulnerable to fire. So because I'm scared, we will be able to just do some damage from the distance. Need to heal if he gives us. Okay, we are out of heals, so we need to focus a little bit. I have chosen the pussy struts, so basically we finished the boss with the fire bombs from the distance. It put us out of danger, so cool guys don't do it, but we didn't have any choice because we were out of heals. And as a reward for the fight, for the winning this boss fight, we get the coiled sword, which is a kind of quest item. We will use it later on, pretty soon enough. And we can retrieve our souls, so each time you die and you have some souls on you, you leave this blood stain, which you can retrieve later and get all your souls back. And if you die without having chance to retrieve your blood stain, they will be lost forever. So it's really important to know where you died last time and to try to retrieve your blood stain if you have a lot of souls on you. Okay, so after the boss there is usually a bonfire which we can light and have another checkpoint. And we rested it, replenish our health and Estus flasks. So Estus heals are replenishable. You refill it every time you sit at the bonfire, and we will be able to upgrade it later on to give more heals, more uses. We proceed to the next area, and from here we see the Firelink, which will be our first and main hub in this game, and we just can run straight to it and loot this area a little bit later. We don't actually need anything from it. We'll just do a little side walk. Kill some undeads. Grab this Homeward Bone. Homeward Bone is a really important item in the game. It allows you to teleport back to the latest checkpoint, the last bonfire, or to the hub, and without losing any of your souls. So if you get to some dangerous situation and you're out of heals and you don't want to lose all souls you have, you can just teleport back and try it again in more controllable environment. And here's what we did. We did it accidentally, but it was a riposte, as so-called. When the enemy is trying to block your attack with shield or any other means of blocking, and you deal enough damage to the shield, and the enemy loses his stamina, he becomes kind of staggered and he stunned for some duration of time. And during this time frame you will be able to riposte it, just to stay close to him and perform the riposte animation, which will deal also a lot of damage. And don't actually remember which is more, like backstep or riposte, but they both are very good, and it is really beneficial for a player to use them as much as possible. Okay, so this is the first hub. We have a very nice place with soothing music. It's calm, and it's actually one of the few areas in the Dark Souls when you have music playing constantly, and this should calm player down and to make player feel like home. So remember the coiled sword that we got from the first boss? We can use it here to make our core bonfire, which will be our bonfire in the center of our first hub, and we will be always getting back to it to buy and sell items and to level up. Or of course we won't level up in this run, but still. And as for leveling up, this is this nice girl. Her name is Firekeeper. Actually her name is something different, I don't remember exactly, but she's the Firekeeper, and her role is to take care of this fire. And she's the only character in the game that allows you to level up. and you can kill it, kill her, and you will lose your ability to level up. So basically we don't need her for this playthrough, but we will not kill her because it will be a dick move. So we'll be able just to talk to her.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
Okay, so she gives us some piece of lore about some lords that have left their thrones, and as we see, there are actually several thrones there on this in this Firelink area.
Farewell, Ashen One.
And there's one guy sitting on the one throne. It's one of the lords, I believe. And other thrones are empty, and the main goal of the game is kill several, actually 4 lord bosses, and get their souls from them and put their souls on these thrones, and this will unlock us the path to the final boss of the main game. Okay, so I kind of forgot what we're going to do here, and so we need to get some progress, and we want to move to the next area, but first of all we'll buy some items from this little lady. So we will not be able to level up, so we need to spend our souls as much as we can on the items that we may need.
A pleasure to I am but a humble hand. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away.
Basically, all the NPCs are undead here.
Bring them to me.
So they continue to remind us about this.
No?
Okay, she sells a lot of good stuff. Howard bones, we will need a couple of these just in case. We will need... there's actually not much we can get from her right now. We'll need a torch later on maybe. And... some more bones and some fire bombs just in case.
Ashen One.
Okay, so we will not talk to other guys yet. So there is a blacksmith that he will be able to upgrade our weapons. Oh, actually we have to talk to it once, because he will be able to
a newcomer, I see. I am on
Rialotas Estus shards
at this shrine as a humble smith forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith, such is my purpose.
This is the only guy in the Dark Souls 3 who actually has some speaking animations. Other characters, when they speak, their mouth are not moving, and I think it was intentional purpose for some reason. And this is basically the same blacksmith that was in the first Dark Souls game, which is pretty epic guy. So it's the first guy that were able to upgrade your weapons in the first Dark Souls game. And what's useful for us is a lot Estus. So we have 3 regular Estus bottles and 1 flasks, and 1 Ashen Estus flask, which is replenishing our mana or energy. But we don't need it, so we can put all 4 to the health, and it will be much more useful for us, because we will not be using energy a lot. Just extra heal will always be good. And when you're near the bonfire, you can frequently see the other players like ghosts in your world. which are just chilling next to bonfire with different armor sets, and it's always nice to look at them. It's some weird armor sets and stuff. And basically we don't have any armor on us except this loincloth, and actually if we take it off we will have more clothes on us. So now we're having like some nice shorts, and if we put it on back we will get more defense a little bit, but we will look more naked. So okay, let's go to the first actual area in the game after this first bonfire. And bonfires allows you to travel in this game, so we can travel, and we can travel back to two bonfires that we have already unlocked, or we can travel to High Wall of Lothric, which is the first area of the actual game. Oh, and I forgot to tell about the kindling mechanics. So basically, after defeating a boss or consuming one ember, we can our like player icon on the top left next to our health bar is showing some kind of flames, not flames but red kind of flamey stuff. So this means we are kindled now, and we have 30% more health. And once we die, we lose this effect and we will have less health. So we will need to either consume one ember to replenish this kindling effect, or to defeat some boss of the area, or as far as I remember, invader. So other players can invade you in this game, and if you defeat them you also get embered, which is really good, especially in our case, because we will not have a lot of health, and this extra 30% of health will mean, will frequently mean the difference between the life or death from one hit. So let's light that bonfire. So we can go two ways, that way or a little bit back. So let's go back this way. It's dead end, but there is some bow in it. So I just want to grab a bow, and I don't actually remember if I will be able to wield it with my stats, but just in case. Oh, dogs are the worst in this game. So it's a very memey character, and not a character but a creature. So they can teleport on top of you, they have very quick attacks, and it's kind of always difficult to deal with them, especially when they are come in packs. So this we were lucky that only one dog aggroed to us, so there is another one just strolling around. We can get it later on. And these are first big boys. So there is the guy with the great axe, which I think will very quickly kill us if we approach it without any hesitation. But we can, as you remember, we can plunge attack in this game, so it will give us a lot of damage, and it will... So we missed our second attack. This guy was sleeping, but as we get close to it, he waked up. this door is closed yet, so it will be a shortcut later on. Let's heal just in case and get rid of this dog and the other guy. I kind of want to aggro dog first. And if we walk slowly in this game, we will maybe be able to get a backstab on this guy, which will be good opening attack. I hate these bitches. So if you don't kill this enemy fast enough, it will transform to this slimy shit, and it has a lot of health and kind of difficult to hit, especially when you panic and forget how to press buttons in this game. Yeah, it's very nice, especially when you first time see this. So there's kind of two things that we can do this with this guy. We can either kill it early and we will not get anything from him, but if we allow him to transform, he will drop Titanite shard, which is upgrade material. We don't necessarily need it, especially comparing to the danger of this enemy. Fucking dog. So as I said, dogs are bad. Okay, so all the bad guys have respawned again, so we'll have to kill them again. And we aggroed this guy at the wrong time. So enemies in this game aggro when they see you or when they hear you. So you need to consider both these things when you're trying to play stealthy. And there are some items that will allow you to move more silent, or to make you more invisible. So there are some rings, some consumable items that will let you blur to the environment, but that's still, you need to consider all this, because it will not make you invulnerable. Enemies will still be able to hear and see you when you close enough. Okay, doggy. Okay, he jumped down, I think, and it was a surprise for me. Oh, raw gem. It's actually very good. So we will get this thing later on, but we get it now, so we will have extra one. And raw gem is or gem, I don't know how to spell it properly. It's very useful for us because there is the thing in this game. There is a mechanic called weapon scaling. So each weapon has scaling settings called attribute bonus in the middle of the screen. We can see at the bottom like additional effects, attribute bonus, attribute requirements. So requirements is basically which stats you need to wield this weapon properly, and attribute bonus means which stat adds more damage to this weapon. So as we see, the attribute bonus is first icon at the strength. So the more strength we have, the more damage we will deal with this club, regardless of whether it's upgraded or not. And on the top, just a second, how to? I forgot the button. Oh, okay. So you can switch to the explanation mode. So this C, the strength scaling, means that this weapon will deal more damage if the more strength we have, and letter C means it's kind of mediocre scaling because there are several tiers of scaling. S is the best one, and then A, B, C, D, E. So C it's kind of in between. It's better than nothing, but still not very good. And we see the attack power, which means physical, and we see the two numbers 108 and plus 13. So 108 is the base attack of this weapon, which depends on the weapon itself, its upgrade level, and basically it. And 13 is the bonus that we get from scaling. So there are a lot of calculations involved here, and there is a lot of details on wiki how the scaling works, but we just need to know that the more strength we have, the better scaling we get. But in the Soul level 1 run, we will not improve our strength naturally by leveling up, so we will always we will not benefit a lot from the scaling. So we will need some other way to improve our damage. And one of the ways is actually the raw gem that will allow us to change weapon to the kind of raw format, raw kind of weapon, I don't know, and it will just improve the physical base damage and remove the scaling. So it works for us because in the end of the day we will get a lot more raw damage from this weapon than we would have like without with scaling. We'll get back to it when we actually start upgrading our weapons, so we don't need to pay a lot of attention here. Okay, so I don't want to deal with this black guy, so I'll try to kill it as soon as is possible. Okay, got lucky. Now we can dispose of these lesser enemies with ease. And these are not even aggroing. Okay. And this shield has weapon art that pushes enemy. I try to hit. Okay, so if we hit an enemy, this one will aggro. But otherwise we can kill them for no reason. They don't give much soul, so we just can waste our time here. Okay, so this is the longbow, and I'm pretty sure we will not have enough stats to use it. We can sell it for couple souls, which are useless for us. So just did it for no reason. And we'll get our souls back, which are like minor amount, but still good. So yeah, And I like exploration in the Dark Souls series very much, because their level design is very nice. You can always get a lot of different ways to traverse to the level. So there are shortcuts, there are different areas when you can revisit them, and it's very nice to. It's very rewarding to look around in this game and find some small hidden treasures here and there, and it gives you some feeling of completion. Okay, so let's go to the main path. And as you notice, we have died once, and now our amber icon is not lit, so it's kind of brown. So this means we don't have any health benefit, and we have not as much health as we previously did. Okay, and this guy, if we don't kill it fast enough, he will wake all the others with his scream, and they will start attacking us. So just I don't want to deal with this shit right now. And let's go here, grab some item on the top, which we don't really need, but it would be nice to have. Oh, by the way, this is the dragon, but it's kind of dead, so it won't attack us, even if we try to kill it. It's basically a decoration here. Ah, bitch, I forgot about this one. Okay. Okay, so this is the binoculars. It's just for fun right now. It will be more useful if we would be playing like sorcery kind of build. It will we will be able to aim our sorceries better, because there is no crosshair when you cast your sorceries in this game. So for us it's kind of useful or useless, but just in case we will be able to maybe aim some fire bombs later on. And this is like a first kind of small secret here when you drop down here, but everybody knows it, but still. And we can grab some gold pine resin. It's just a buff for our weapon. It adds lighting damage. It will be useful for us for actually second boss here. And especially in when we deal small amount of damage, every additional source of damage is good. So the buff is okay. So you see, we have staggered this enemy when he was born, and we were able to riposte here for a lot of damage. Oh, hi. Okay, we will not be able to get this guy from here. Okay, so I want to run this area as fast as possible, because I know that there will be a dragon here. So if you run fast enough, you will be able to avoid the fire from the dragon. But it's still on top of this area and we will not be able to grab any loot there. Fortunately, we don't actually need it. Combo attacks are always fun. Because other enemies were dead from fire by the dragon, so this one was lucky to follow me early on, so he avoided the fire. And as you can hear, dragon on top is continuing to, to spread the fire all over the place. So you can go back and see. So everyone is dead right now. This bastard sits on top. And if we try to go there, he will breath fire again and try to kill us. So we don't want to go there. There are a couple items. There is a one pretty good sword there, but we will not be able to use it anyways because we don't have enough stats. Some ember, some souls, I believe. So, but it doesn't worth the risk, and we can kind of kill this dragon, but it will take a lot of arrows, and we don't have a bow yet. Or actually, we do have a bow, but we don't have enough stats to wield it. So it's marked with red icon, and we see we need attribute requirement 14 dex, and we will never get 14 dex in this build. Unless we equip one ring, but this ring will be available much later in the game. It's almost the end game loot, so we will not be able to wield it. And this guy right here looks like a regular chest, but it's like really nice guy called Mimic. So if we try to open this chest, it will kill us. It will basically eat us alive. And with such amount of health, we will not be able to survive it. And we don't actually need to kill it, but it's always fun. So we'll just free up some space here, because he will be chasing us around trying to kill us, just in case. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, there is a number of different attacks in the Dark Souls. So you can have a light attack, you can have a power attack, or with the power attack you can charge it for even more time to get even more damage. So it's the best tactic to when you get a mimic or the enemy that don't see you, and you cannot backstab this enemy, so you can charge to the maximum your power attack and deal a lot of damage in the first hit. So we can even buff because we have a nice stick and wow. I forgot this. When we are buffed, we have different animation for this. And this is his grab animation, so if he grabs us, we are dead. And if he kicks us, we are dead as well. And if he touches us any other way, we're kind of also dead. So it's very good to know which enemies stagger when you hit them. So as you see, when we hit him like couple times in a row, it gets staggered and he will not be able to attack for like a second or so. So it's always good to understand which enemies can be staggered and exploit these mechanics to your advantage. So this one drops. Wow, cool. This is the random drop, symbol of avarice. I'll talk a little bit later on. And basically the standard loot from this chest is Deep Battle Axe, which is Battle Axe that just enchants with the dark magic. And I think it will deal more damage that our stick right now. Okay, so we're kind of not able. Okay, let's get to the next bonfire and I'll talk about this Battle Axe and stuff a little bit later, because this dragon screams make me nervous. Okay, we don't want to fuck with this night guy right now, so I'll just run a little bit, ignoring all the enemies, because I know there's a bonfire here. We'll light it up, and I think we'll be able to sit here. Yeah. So you will not be able to sit at the bonfire if enemies are nearby, but they were not close enough, so we were lucky. Okay, so here's this dragon that spreads fire all over the place, and we can either hit it from here with the bow and arrow, but it will take like 50 arrows and it does not worth the trick. But if we choose to kill him, we actually don't kill him, he would just fly away and, when we get it to the half of health. And we will get next level upgrade material, but we will get to plenty of these materials later on, so it doesn't make any sense to spend time on it right now. Okay, so the Battle Axe. So this attribute requirements, it still has some more strength that we have. We have 10, it needs 12. But if we two-hand it, the strength requirements are calculated differently. So for the weapon that has, for example, 15 strength for one-handing, if you two-hand it, you can kind of almost decrease the strength requirement like 60% or 50%. I don't remember the exact numbers. But if we two-hand this weapon, we will be able to wield it without any lack of damage, because we can even wield it one hand, but it will usually bounce off stronger enemies. We will not be able to deal as much damage, so the damage will be much less comparing to other weapons. And okay, let's see. If we wear it two-hand, we will get 96 physical damage and 96 dark damage, as you see from attack power here. We have like physical damage, magic, fire, lighting, it doesn't have any of that, but we have dark damage. And it's kind of good and bad at the same time, because how the damage calculation in this game works... why it's so loud? How the damage calculation in this game works is that damage defense, like physical defense and magic defense, are all different stats, and when the game calculates damage, the defense are applied for each damage type separately. So when we hit someone with only physical damage, we will get only physical damage reduction from it. But if we spread this damage, the same amount of damage, to two different types of damage, so physical and dark, we will get reduction of damage based on defense from both of these sources of damage. So the more spread the damage across different elements, the less damage we will deal in the end of the day because of the damage calculation. So I hope I explained it correctly, but anyways, I think we will get more damage output from this axe, so let's wear it for now. And we get Titanite shard from here, which is we will use to upgrade our weapon later on. And so let's gather our items around here, as we already got the bonfire. And each weapon in this game belongs to some kind of weapon type. So the axe and the club that we'll also have are two different types of weapons, and they have different move sets. So the club is kind of always the same animation. It doesn't have any combo attacks, I would say. But the axe, when we swing it, it has like two different type of swings, and the power attack is different. Let's try to get this big ass knight. Let's get these two guys to clean up a little bit area. Okay, nice try. Oh, can use letters. This guy can use his shield also to hit us. Okay, I don't know his moveset, so I will scream. What I'm doing now is called panic roll struts, so I just mash the roll button because I don't know how to react to his moves, and it's usually a very bad thing to do because you lose your stamina very quickly and you just get you in dire situation. Okay, so now we're in more controlled environment. We can cage these guys when they are climbing up the ladder. What is the second guy? And we can do sweet plunging attack on him. Oh, we could if we didn't miss. Nice. The charge attack on this weapon is really good, because when you buffed, you get this sweet animation with the long charge time, but its damage is very good. Okay, now we got rid of this knight. Absolutely easy. So get some loot here. Okay, let's rest at the bonfire and move on to the further area. Or actually, we can travel back to the Firelink Shrine, which are our main hub. And we can just spend some souls, buy some embers, just for sake of spending them.
Ah, how may I?
I don't think we need anything from here yet. We'll get the sorcerer stuff. I think we will need later on. We'll get the talisman. So sorcerer stuff and talisman will be used to cast sorceries and miracles later on. And we will not be dealing damage with the sorceries and miracles, but we may use one or two for like utility ones, just to ease our life here and there. Okay, let's travel back to the second bonfire we unlocked in the Lothric Castle. This dude has respawned, but we will not fighting him again. There's a couple other enemies here. Nothing of interest yet. We will get to this area later on, because there is some NPC that we will want to get from the bottom of this tower, but we don't have yet a key to free him, so we'll need to track back a little bit later. Sorry. And this guy appeared from behind the wall. He was hanging here. Where is this fucker? Okay, there is another guy who will transform to this ugly black thing and rip us apart if we don't kill him quick. So let's just do it. And the game gives you a hint basically here. So they put the firebomb next to this enemy to like let you know that this enemy may be vulnerable to fire, and they give you a hint to use it. So this kind of good game design. They Dark Souls, they always give you some minor hints in like not obvious way. They not making like big ass warning sign that please use firebombs on this enemy. That just give you some firebombs and see if you get it. And this little guy is called Crystal Lizard. So there are tiny little lizards that run away from you when they see you, but they usually have some good loot, some upgrade materials. So we'll try to hit this one as fast as we can. And it's pretty forgiving in Dark Souls 3, because when they run from you and you hit them, they stagger and then don't disappear, so you can continue hitting them. And in Dark Souls 2 it was completely different mechanics, so if they run from you and you don't kill it in like several seconds, it will disappear completely and you will need to restart the area from bonfire to get it again. So this is basically the lizard from which we would get this raw gem. So now we have two of them, and this is good. We will be able to use both of them. I'm not sure which weapon we will use as a secondary, but I for sure know which weapon we will use as our primary weapon in this run, and we will get it in a couple minutes. Let's kill these guys, because I don't like them. This guy tried to get up. Some more firebombs, and I don't like it. Try to backstab us. Another Titan shard. Oh, another Titan shard. So these enemies often drop it randomly. And by the way, we have a helmet drop. Oh yeah, and the symbol of Avarice. So this is really cool item. It gives you the buff for item discovery, as you see on the bottom right corner. Item discovery gives you like chance to find random loot, which is really useful if we need to farm something from enemies that only drops from enemies. And it looks very nice too. So it's very nice head that completes our like outfit. But the bad thing about it, we'll constantly be losing our health, so if we don't get it away, we will be die in several seconds. So we won't wear it for most of our playthrough. This helmet, just some hollow helmet, we'll use it to have some minor damage reduction, which will not help us a lot, but still will be nice to have. Oh, sorry. I thought he will... I thought this guy was further away, so we'll have to fight him in a bad spot. But let's try. Oh, this attack is great. So he gives us ability to... not as good as I thought. It gave us the first time it gave us ability to poise to his attack and interrupt it. The second time it didn't work. It's okay. Oh, and very important mechanics of this game. We can play with bodies of fallen enemies to just show dominance, and just when you... It's always fun to do. Okay. Let's try to hold it. Okay, so let's get to the sword that I wanted to get. So here, whole enemy. And this is the best sword in the game, at least for our case, because it's a broadsword. It's small. It weighs weight not much. It's lightweight. It has a very decent damage. And can be used for level 1 character, and we can infuse it with raw gem, and it will be basically our main weapon for the most of the game. And here is a little secret: if you break these barrels, you can drop down and get another fun weapon, which is called Astora Straight Sword, but we will not be able to use it without any rings because it has requirements of faith, couple faith, and the broadsword will be really nice. It has more damage comparing to the club that we currently have, and just very good weapon. But we'll still use this battle axe for now, and we'll wear the broadsword once we upgrade it. Okay, we have two options here: to do a suicide run for the key item behind us, or dispose of these weapon enemies normally. We'll do a suicide run. So, suicide run failed. So I forgot about this hollow that throws firebombs. So I want to retreat a little bit. Kite these enemies around and try this again. Okay, they're in very bad spots, so there's both dog and the hollow guy. The guy with the S is getting back. Okay. Let's grab this one. It's Estus shard. It will allow us to upgrade our... It will allow to upgrade us Estus flask, and I forget to roll time, so it got us. Okay, so we'll quickly run back, grab our souls, grab the key item. It's a simple mission. Here are our souls. So we grab the Estus shard. There is a Titanite shard in this room. But first I want to get this key item. And by the way, enemies are in this game are programmed to destroy the objects that tempers with their path. So if dogs try to go somewhere to get to the player, it will like just hit all the barrels, all the boxes to break them to get to the player. So this can buy you some time. Okay, we got the cell key, and we may be even able to survive this situation. Okay, we'll grab the Titanite shard. Okay, doesn't matter. We get everything that we needed here. So this was the perfect suicide run, as they should be. Okay, let's get to the next shortcut, and after the we can get to the our NPC guy that we wanted to free in the bottom of this tower. Get rid of this guy. There's another bitch throwing knives at us. Okay, where is this fucker? You should not be here, you should stay on top. Some throwing knives. Throwing knives are quite useful actually in this game. They allow you to quickly deal some minor damage to the enemy, and if you just want to finish enemy off and deal some minor damage, it deals I think 10 damage or so. But anyway, it can be very useful in some situations. And this guy will just blow himself up. Trying to hit us. Some more throwing knives. Very scary, but not very effective. Mail breaker. We will not use this. It's kind of small dagger. I think we will not have enough stats to use this, and it's pretty useless for us. Okay, here's the guy. It's a very nice guy for us. He will sell some weapons and stuff. He has very tragic lore, I think. It looks nice. Very nice head, and I think we will be able to get this head if we kill enough enemies of some type. They dropped such head, so I love this head. It will fit our outfit very good, and it will allow us to hide our ugly face.
Ah. You're no jailer, are you? No, you're from far away. And judging by the bell, you must be some of that unkindled ash. Remarkable. If that's true, then I have a favor to ask. Below the high wall is a musty little town. Not the home of any lord, just a very old settlement of undead. An old woman, Loretta, lives there. Please, give her this ring. I'm not asking for charity. In fact, if you do this for me, I'll be sure to repay you in kind. I may be a petty thief, but I've more wits than most royalty. What do you say then, huh?
Of course I get your ring.
Very well.
For free.
I humbly place my faith in you. I am Grey Rat of the Undead Settlement, and promise to assist you. Give this ring to old Loretta at the base of the high wall. Do your part, and I'll do mine.
Push. So he teleported somehow to our hub. I'm not sure why he couldn't teleport before we opened his gate. And he gave us some ring and asked us to do some quest to give this ring to some girl in the village, or lady, or whatever. And this is how quests works in this game. So you don't have any quest indicator or whatever. You don't have any journal where you can see your quests or any sort of it. So it's just NPCs say you some things and you should remember that you should do something with it. Yeah, just real hardcore. Okay. Who's running? Ah, it's you. Okay. I don't need to kill you anyway. Okay, so the ring he gave us is pretty useless for us. We can wear it just for fun. It will give us some minor benefit, and it's better than nothing. So it's increased the damage absorption when our health is low. Oh. And what just happened, if you notice, somebody died, some enemy died, and we had our Estus flask replenished. So this happens sometime when you kill some bigger enemy, or it just can randomly happen when you kill smaller enemies. So the guy that transformed to this monstrous black stuff on the top, just when the transformation animations is performed, he just kills all the hollow soldiers around him, hollow like undead, and just for some of them gave us some free Estus replenished. It's always cool. Some bolts. Bolts are quite useful for us. We will get the crossbow eventually. It will have enough stats for us to use. So it's quite good. Okay, so there are a lot of armors around. So they are actually hollow inside, so there is nobody in there, and there are some lore behind that which I don't know. Something strange happened here. And I really don't want to deal with this large guy with a huge halberd. How do you call it? Just try to sneak around, grab some loots. Embers, this guy, rapier, which we also will not be able to use, and run around, get this ember. Embers will be really helpful for us because we will die a lot, and we will need to replenish our max health. I almost forget about it. Let's go this way. We will be able to unlock a shortcut. And get some tiny little loot here. Jump to this rooftop and miss this one. So it just was a practice jump, it's okay. Ring of Sacrifice. We don't need it. We can sell it later. So what this ring does is when you die, you will leave your bloodstain with all the souls on you. But if you wear this ring, you will not lose anything. You just will be teleported to the latest checkpoint, and you still have your souls on you without losing anything. You will not have to return to your bloodstain to retrieve them, but you will lose the ring, so it's one-time use. Guys. Okay, so nobody else. Green Blossom gives you quicker stamina regeneration, which sometimes is useful. Okay, so maybe you remember this door. It was in the beginning of the game where this guy with the axe, and it's just next to the first bonfire, so it's very nice to have it. And this stupid enemy cannot get to this door, so we can either kill it more easy or just ignore him. He should not be able to get through the door. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so we'll have to deal with another boss quite soon. I'm not sure if I should do it with only one Estus. Let's see how it goes. There are a lot of these powerful knights here, which I don't want to deal with. Maybe one at a time. Or maybe not. I don't want to deal with them. Only with this one, maybe. Just die already. Another Titanite shard. It's cool. Lucerne is kind of strange kind of weapon. We will not be able to wield it. We just sell it for maybe 100 of souls. And this is the safe zone. These guys cannot get here because it's a boss fight room, which will be later on here. And this lady just give us some quest item
The wait has been long
that we will need later on.
I am Emma, High Priestess of Lothric Castle. Allow me to speak frankly. You will not find the Lords of Cinder here. They have left, gone, to their journey homes converging at the base of this castle. Head to the bottom of the high wall, forge on through the great gate, and raise this banner to proceed.
Okay, so she gave us some
This
banner
farewell
and
gift is for you. It is the insignia of an old covenant. If you fear trespassers, dark spirits drawn by the embers, then etch this upon your heart, and the old Concord will beckon noble blue sentinels to hunt these foul spirits.
okay, so she gave us quest item, which we will use after the boss fight, and the covenant item, which covenants in the means of multiplayer in Dark Souls. And this first covenant item, we can wear it if we want some players to kind of help us in the world, I think. so we can read description. Members of the Weir Blue are beneficiaries of the Ancient Accord. When a dark spirit threatens them, a blue spirit will grant them assistance. So other players will kind of be able to help us when someone invades our world and tries to kill us, and some of the other player which belongs to the another blue Sentinels Covenant will be able to automatically summon to our world and just help us to deal with invader. Okay, let's avoid these guys, or actually we still need to replenish our Estus, and I don't want to do a like boss fight right now, so let's use the Homeward Bone and let's get to the Shrine Bonfire. We can also upgrade our Estus because we have an extra shard that we collected in this one room.
Ah, well, Matt, 'tis good to see ye in good health. What needs smithing this time?
Okay, reinforce Estus shards. So we can give this guy Estus shards and he gives us more Estus. And we will need to sit at the bonfire to replenish this Estus. And oh yeah, and we can start reinforcing our weapon. Okay, so now we have this broadsword, which, as I said, it's a very good weapon for us right now. So we can wield it, and let's go and sell some shit that we don't need to this nice little lady. We definitely don't need weapons that we will not be able to use. Rapier is Lucine. I don't think we will use this sword, we don't have enough faith, and at the time we get some faith rings, we'll get a lot of better choices. We don't need this broken cell sword, so let's sell it for 3 souls, which is like a huge amount. And we don't need this dagger. Also, we will not be able to use this longbow, so let's get rid of it. We'll stick to the symbol of avarice just in case we need to farm something. And Ring of Sacrifice just in case we'll leave it there if I don't want to lose some souls later on.
Ashen One, be sure to bring more souls.
Alright, let's do some gathering around. So we skipped a lot of items around this Firelink Shrine when we first get here, so let's gather them. This fog wall appears here for no reason sometimes. Nobody's sure why. So we'll have to wait some time while it disappears, so we'll be able to get back to the area. So maybe it has to do something with loading, unloading area assets or something. Okay, let's get this useless shield. Some holes aggro. See this guy on the top of the staircase. So it's a really dangerous guy for the first time players, because he has a lot of health, he does a lot of quick attacks, and he's pretty dangerous. So we'll try to cheese him. So he's stupid enough to fall down here usually. So he tries to do the jumping attack or quick attack from the top of the stairs, and if we stay somewhere here, he just jumps down. And he should drop some loot, but as he falls down, his loot is nowhere to be found. So we can just save and quit the game right here, and the loot will appear in that position when he should be spawned. No, it's just normal game mechanics, so we just abused it, and it's normal way of playing Dark Souls, so it's okay. So the game is pretty hard sometimes, so you need to get back some moments of revenge. Here's his loot. He has Uchigatana, which is katana kind of sword, which requires a lot of dexterity, and couple armor pieces which we can actually wear. It's very good. It gives us not a lot of anything, just some minor defense. See, when we like trying to wear some, choose some item to wear, it shows us which benefits and which pros and cons it has. So the red item, red icon, no, not red color of the text means it is worse in some areas. So it has, for example, this headpiece, helmet, head of Mimic, has more weight than our current helmet, but it has better durability and basically better everything. Better item discovery, better damage absorption. So all items that better are in blue, all that are worse in red. So it's very useful when you need to like figure out if you want to wear this item or not. Okay, the shield is kind of better, but we'll get another shield just in a moment. So with this attire we look like really cool. We have a lot of armor on us, and it will allow us to take more hits from enemies. Actually not a lot, but sometimes it can save your life with just a tiny amount of health left. Okay, there's some ember here, some homeward bones. Another ember. Some dog that is not aware of our presence, so we can hit it. Okay, that was cool. Should be another guy here. Where is it? Some hollow dude. Oh, this guy, admiring the view. So game gives you another hint here. So there is a kick attack. So you need to carefully time your inputs. I fucked it up. But we could kick it from the... I forgot how to do it. Oh, yeah. So we could kick it from the ledge. Always fun thing to do. And kicking is actually a very good thing to deal with enemies with the shields, because when you can actually kick, so you need to be careful with your inputs. You need to push forward on your movement pad and the light attack. And it's like very difficult to do when you're bad at the game. So it's very useful for enemies with shields, because it breaks their blocking and allows you to do riposte. Okay, so we got this one, and there is another kind of tricky jump that we can make here and do and skip a lot of... there is a very good item that we can get right now. And we can either buy the key for the tower for 20,000 souls. Sorry. For this tower. But we don't have a lot of souls yet, and so we can just try to skip this tower entirely by jumping over this tree to this rooftop. And it's kind of tricky jump, but if you know how to do it, it will be easy. But I don't know how to do it, so we will be stuck here for some time. almost got it. So speedrunners do it first try always, but they practice it a lot. Fuck. Oh, okay, cool, I got it, I'm the best. Okay, there are some more homeward bones here. So basically we are now on the top of the Firelink Shrine roof, and from here we can get a little back. There is a lizard with some upgrade items. From here we can see the staircase when we get this guy to jump from the cliff. And from here we can get behind the Firelink. And there is some crystal lizard here. Okay, cool. So Twinkling Titanite, which dropped down from this lizard, is also upgrade material, but for different kind of weapons. So there are several types of weapons in this game, like normal kind of weapons, which we upgrade with regular Titanite, kind of boss weapons, which we can make from the souls of the bosses, transpose them. They upgraded with Titanite scale, I believe. And Twinkling Titanite are used for upgrading unique types of weapons, so they are kind of just unique for some reason, but they are not made from boss souls, but they are like, different from normal. You usually cannot buy them, they drop for some enemies, but we'll get some of them later on. Okay, so this is the top of the Firelink Shrine. We can see our central bonfire from here, the thrones. Nice, and if we fall down we'll be dead, so it's better not to fall down.
You... Me...
Okay, got another Estus shard, and this kind of nest. So there is a nest on top, and there is a little NPC which is invisible, only hear its voice. So this is kind of NPC that exists in every Souls game. Shut up. That gives us stuff in exchange for other stuff. So people had to try every kind of item to drop in the nest and see what it does. But as these people already tried it and documented everything on wiki, so we know that if we leave a couple firebombs here, we can leave like regular firebomb one, and the black firebomb, which is more powerful version of the regular one. We can get some better upgrade materials early on. So we just drop it on the ground, and this crow NPC replaces them with other items. So it's Titanite chunk, which is like almost the best upgrade material in the game, which we'll need to get our weapon to plus 7 and up. And just a large Titanite shard, which is second level upgrade material after the regular Titanite shard. And there is another secret here, so it's a hidden wall right here. So we should either hit it or roll through it to reveal it. So if you just roll or hit, it just disappears, and you can go here and get a very nice ring for early game, especially. It's Cavitus Silver Serpent ring. It just gives us more souls from each killed enemy, and it's very useful for bosses, especially because you will have a lot more souls from the bosses. It's kind of useless for us because we will not have much things to spend our souls at, but just like better than nothing. we'll be able to like maybe quicker buy some upgrade materials, just for fun. Okay, so we got some souls. We can try to upgrade our broadsword finally.
Ah, well, 'tis good to see ye in good health. What needs smithing this time?
Okay, first of all, we will infuse weapon with the raw gem. So now you see it has 117 plus 15, and if we infuse it with raw, it will remove the plus 15, but it will add a lot of raw damage for physical. So its total will be like 132, but now we get 142, so it's kind of a little bit better. And the more we upgrade the weapon, the better it will become. So we'll make it raw broadsword, and we will upgrade it, reinforce with a titanite shard. So it's very good that we had couple titanite shard draws, because we need exactly 6 to upgrade it to plus 2. So first level is plus 2 titanite shards, and plus 4 plus 2 is 4 titanite shards, and we get it immediately to 184 damage. So it's a lot of damage at your early stage.
Pretty be careful.
Okay, so let's sell this Uchigatana to this lady, because we don't need it. And I think we no longer need this deep battle axe, although it has really cool moveset. Okay, we'll stick to it. It's almost costs nothing to sell it right now. And we have this Grey Rat guy, which we saved. So he's now here, and he sells a lot of good stuff.
Whatever trinket you need, speak up. Just don't ask me where I got them.
Okay, he does sells a lot of good stuff right now. Couple embers, fire bombs, which are cheaper than from the handmade. Shields, but we cannot equip them right now. And I kind of was thinking using bandit knife for this playthrough later on, because it has bleed damage on it, and bleed is very powerful against some enemies, so we can buy it right now. And we will use it later on when we get some rings that will boost our dexterity, and we just need 2 dexterity points, so it will be useful later on. And what else can we buy? Okay, I think we will need crossbow from this guy. It also costs like 1000 souls, and we will be able to equip it. So, but we'll buy it later on.
Goodbye.
Okay, we will need to.
This place is a bore.
Okay. We will need to get his quest line. First, his quest completed to deliver the bone to the lady in the village. So he will be able to sell us more stuff later on. Okay, let's equip. Let's leave the broadsword equipped. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if we will equip the broadsword and this club, which gives us buff. Will the buff be applied to other weapons as well? If we change it, no, it's just disappears as we switch weapon. It's okay. Okay, so we have fire bombs, we have this gold pine resin, which will allow us to buff weapon. Okay, let's go kill the yet another boss. Okay, we have opened shortcuts, so we can get to the first bonfire in the area and pretty quickly get to the boss. Okay, let me Let me think. Let me remember the moveset on this sword. Just a couple swings in combo. Just wide area, and if we charge it, similar. And if we one-handed, it's almost the same, but just with some running forward attack. Okay, that will do. Okay, let's ignore every enemy here. Quickly run to the area. Oh shit! We need to get this elevator back up. Fortunately, this enemy didn't notice us. It's always a good idea to get the elevator back up, because if we die to the boss, we will not need to wait for the elevator to come back up next time we get here. Okay. Okay, there's a couple holes here, we just skip them. And this is another boss arena. Some small hole. Okay, so let's do it. Kind of unsuspecting, approaching this gate, nothing bad would happen. You're ugly. Okay, let's buff our weapon and get this fucker. So, it's always good strategy for the big bosses to stay behind them and kick him in the butt. Okay, he's in second stage now, so he will do a lot of just running, trying to hit us. Okay, this was quicker than I expected, so we deal a lot of damage and he just skipped some of the dangerous attacks. So this means we are kind of cool in this game. And as we just killed the boss, we have restored our ember and we now have a full health again. And we get our first boss soul. So we will be able to... yeah, it's a nice game. We will be able to use the soul later to make a boss weapon from it. Or we just can consume it for more souls. Okay, so we got the small banner from the lady previously, as far as you remember. And here we can use this banner as our ticket out from this godforsaken castle. Okay, so let's admire our view a little bit. There is a... that's why we have binoculars. Okay, let's... it's another shortcut section when we can just put some items here and use them when we need. And let's go. Okay, let's use our binoculars. So there is a bridge down below, there is a village. How does it work? I forgot how does binoculars works. Does anything works in this game? Oh yeah, you can zoom in and out. So basically we should go there. So this is the village, and we will soon enough get to this village. And some ruins, some castle. So what we see here is basically we will be able to visit every of this area, and this is quite cool about this game. So usually what you can see you will be later visiting. And this nice looking how to call it, cathedral, I believe it's cathedral, and we will be able to visit it as well later on. And we actually will return to this castle later on the top floors. Okay, so let's raise the banner, see the cutscene. Okay, these friendly transportation services are free of charge here. Just show them banner and they got us here for no reason. And this is where we came from. So this is the castle when we just been. And I think we have flown from this stone. So this is the gate which we opened after the boss fight. I think, yeah. Okay, so there is another bonfire here. And there's some loot here. Okay, so we did a pretty good progress today. I think it's time to me for go to sleep soon enough. So we'll cut it here, and tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of this area. We'll go through the village and get to another boss. There is a lot of strange guys under us, so we'll visit them and take a closer look at the dragon there. And we will later in the game we will also be on that side of the bridge. Okay, so thank you for joining me today, and come back if you enjoyed this shit show. Okay. Goodbye.